Hey guys, thanks again for being so patient with us. As you can see, we're back in the, I guess what you call our home studio here, where I do all the editing, and I want to give a little update as to why this has been like 3 weeks since we got this aired. What happened was we had a lot of corrupted video, and just not a lot of time to refilm everything. But I went ahead and did that today. As you notice, when you watch the video, you'll see I'm wearing the same thing. I didn't even shave or do my hair or anything. Because, well, I just want to get it filmed for you guys. And you guys are the most patient people ever. I really do appreciate it. So what we're going to do is, again, as I say in the video a couple times, we're starting out kind of tame with the binding video. And I just want to caveat that with, again, I know you guys are patient, but just remember that everything we do is generalized, and it's for a wide variety of audiences. So we don't actually streamline anything we do. It's all basic. Well, it is kind of streamlined. We don't actually cater to one specific group of people. It's all pagans everywhere, so they can learn just the basics and the routine things to do, so they can branch off into their own path of paganism. Just like every other religion, there are many more paths. So I'm on my little soapbox. Let me get off that and let you guys enjoy the video. Many more to come after this, so I do apologize the series started a little later, but thank you so much for being patient. Without further ado, enjoy. We'll go ahead and get right into the binding episode. Thanks, guys. Everybody, welcome back to Proud to Be Pagan. It's been a while, and you probably noticed from the beginning of this, but we had some corrupted video, but we got this going now, so we are ready to go. We're going to do a little tame for the first episode of the series. So you're going to need yarn, thread, well, string, anything really. And we've got our little avatar here, our little guy. I call him Little Johnny, so get your little Johnny. Now we're going to do what's called a dry binding, because, well, I'll show you what you need first, and then I'll show you what to do. So this is mostly what to do, and you can have your own way of doing your ceremony, your ritual, or your spell. But we're just going to do a dry binding. So we're not going to use a lot of things because I'm not actually going to bind anyone. But we're going to show you how it's done and what. Alright, so first thing you're going to need is you're going to have something to clear the area with. So we have a smudge here. It's just sage. I like the little shell here. So what you're going to first do is take your sage and your lighter, and you're going to light just the end of it. Make sure it catches. I like the dried sage. It works really well. Once it catches, go ahead and shake that out. You got a nice little billow of smoke going. Take little Johnny here, and you're going to go ahead and smudge him. Just work around in a circle around the arms and legs, and then get right up underneath him there. There we go. And that will clear him off, because you're going to want your spell work to be clear and neutral when you start. You don't want any negativity. Now take your shell and extinguish it. The back of the shell is great for just putting out those embers right there. And if it doesn't all go out, just go ahead and rub it right across the bottom there. And that should put it out. I like the dry stuff again because it does light a lot better. Now, once you've got that done, you're going to take your yarn here. Well, first I'm going to go and grab the oil. The oil is what's going to stick it to your poppet. And I like the cork on it here too, because on the bottom, it keeps everything fresh, and you can use a little excess in the bottom. Now, grab your yarn, and if you can somehow find the end that actually pulls, give me a second here. One of these, that might not be it. I think I might have had it. Okay. You can tell I don't knit There we go. Okay. So once you have that, go ahead and give that a little tug there. There we go. And you're going to get a forearm's length about. And you don't need too much. So right from your first fingers to about your elbow. And once you have that, you're going to snip that off. So go and take your fingers here. I've got my bowling on the altar here. Yes. And we're just going to get right underneath that. Be as safe as possible. It's still a pointy, nice, sharp edge. So once you have that, go ahead and put that guy away. Then you're left with just one piece of the yarn. Again, about forearms length. Alright. Now, take your poppet here. And I'm going to show you 4 ways to actually bind him. And we'll give him a little oh no phase. Oh no! Okay, we're going to start. Alright, so put his arms out like this. And this is the first one. This is going to be to not have him talk. So the mouth is what you want. And the first thing you're going to do is, I'm not going to do this time, but you're going to dip it right in the oil. The oil is going to stick it to the poppet. In this case, the wood, it does help a little bit. So right over the mouth, put your thumb there to stick it. And wrap once, wrap twice, and then wrap a third time. You can wrap as much as you want. I'm just showing 3 ways to do it. And there is a speaking binding, okay? So let me go ahead and get him taken care of. We're going to do a hand binding. This is for people who, well, are physically abusive. The last one's mostly for vocally abusive and spells. But this one, you're going to do the same thing. Put your thumb right over the point there. Wrap once, twice, and there's your third time there. You can tell, hands are bound. And again, you can use the excess if you like. So let's go ahead to the next one here. Alright, the next one we're going to do is an emotional binding. These are for those really clingy people, or that ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend you just don't want around you. So start at the heart, and you're going to wrap it in an X fashion. So you may need more, but go ahead and start here. This one's a little tricky. And then wrap around the waist. Once you get to the waist, go ahead and get the X formed, and secure around the waist again. Now if you have enough, just about 4 arms length, you'll get right around back to the center. And there you go. Nice emotional binding. Alright, so let's take that off there. And it's stuck. Okay. Alright. Now, the last one is a general binding. So lift the arms up if you have a poppet, then just try and get underneath them. And again, we're going to start at the heart. Put your thumb there. Wrap it once. Wrap twice. And the third time. There we go. That's a general binding around the body. So any harm that that person could do is now bound into the poppet. And those are your 4 general bindings there. Alright, now we're going to do a little dry run of how to do a binding. Of course, I'm not actually binding anyone, so we're just going to run through the motions, and I'll show you exactly how it works. This is a very generic binding, so everyone has their own way of doing it. I'm not doing it as a spell, which you can. You can incorporate a spell into it by a chant or divine words incorporated as you're binding the person. I'm going to show you here. We've got the altar set up, and this is how it should be set up. Doesn't matter how you actually set up or what order it is in. Again, this is for a very non-denominational kind of pagan ritual here. We have our 4 elements. We have water, we have air, we have fire, and all around here is earth. So we have stones everywhere, and I always have a representation of Akasha in some way, matter, or form. But in this case, also the person, little Johnny here, is our Akasha. So here's how we're going to do it. As I mentioned before, you're going to take your oil. I like to keep mine corked in my own separate bottles. I make my own oils. I do suggest you do it. I believe it's jojoba or jojoba oil. However, it's very neutral. And you just want to take the tip and get it right there in the oil. It can be wet, it can be whatever. And we're going to do a general binding, which, as I mentioned before, is right around the center of the body. Right starting at the heart. The oil will stick to your poppet. In this case, we have little Johnny as a poppet. And while you're doing this actual wrapping is when you can do your spell. Chant it 3 times. As the Wiccan Reed says, the power of 3 binds us all, so it's always good to have that. Now, I like this because I can use the cork now, and I can dab the cork into the yarn. And this one doesn't want to go as well. So if it does that, which sometimes it does, just give it a little bit more. I'll raise up the camera here. We're going to be very gentle. I'm going to do a couple drops there. Now, again, this is going to stick the string, the yarn, whatever you're using. It's fibrous, so it's going to soak in the fibers. It's going to stay right there. Just don't move it around too much. All right. Now at that point, your poppet is bound. Little Johnny is bound up, and we had him in a different. Let's put him back in his oh no pose. But we have little Johnny bound up. So this is the completed portion. The reason the elements are around is to protect you, because you're doing a spell here of any kind or sort. Now the actual motions of it are the physical portion going into the metaphysical. The metaphysical portion is, of course, the oil, the binding of the body and spirit, and abilities. Now, this is going to take effect as soon as you need it to. You may start seeing things immediately. You may only start seeing things, slowly over time. Maybe that person will get better at the words they say, the actions they do. And this little guy is the fault of it. Now, once things get to the 100% better you want it to get to, then you can complete your binding. Some people actually like, right before they end it, they also like to anoint as well the poppet, or the charge, or the hologram, the effigy, whatever you want to call it. And you can just do it with a little of the oil. So that's securely on there, that's not going anywhere. Now, once everything is said and done, if you have a corn poppet, you can do it with the entire poppet. But again, use your smudge, clear your area, because you don't want to harm them. And as in the Wiccan Rede, the Golden Rule, it's all the same. Do as you would do to others as you want done to yourself. Harm none, harm none. It's basically what it is. You're not harming the person by doing this. You're just inhibiting them from harming others in the way that they're doing it. So, because we're using a wooden poppet here, I'm not going to actually light the guy on fire. What we're going to do is, after our binding is complete, if you have a spell that you like to use for the ending of the binding, really, then say it as you're gently unwinding. A little bit after it, a little bit. Don't just unwind the guy. You've got to unhex them, as you should say. And as you're doing that, you can say your spell, you can do your chant, you can perform your ritual. Or you can just burn the whole thing while you're doing that. But, again, wooden effigy. We're not going to do that. So, set little Johnny off to the side here. And I am going to take my flame. And in this case, I'm actually going to use a different flame. That's a new candle. We want an old one. That'll work. And we're going to use the element we already have in front of us. Drip a little wax, no big deal. Okay? Then we're going to take our candle. At this point, we're going to unwind it somehow. And you can see the oil does a very good job of sticking everything together. Have a cauldron ready for this. Have some kind of capture method, because it's going to go. And this is how you're going to complete your ritual. Oh, by the way, apparently yarn is very sticky, and it's coated. So there we go. We've got it going up now. Let it go, and I'll be cleaning out this cauldron when I'm done. Go. Boy, does yarn smell funny. That's still going pretty good in there. If you do have a cast iron cauldron like this, a small one, and we even have our monster guy down here. Let me get it for you. Yeah, stick to the floor. We even have our big guy for those tough jobs. But if you have a cast iron cauldron, make sure you have the cleaning supplies to do it, because this is not pretty. That is the, I consider like the negative energy you took from the person. Obviously we didn't do anything there, so again, that's the physical meeting and metaphysical. Take it as you will. And it smells like that's some of the oil too. So congratulations, you finished your binding. And little Johnny is now free of his pain and suffering, and is now a better person for it. So, that is the gist of how to do a binding. Like I said, we're doing very tame to start with, but we're going to get a little more in depth, so make sure you have your, I don't know why, you can use yarn, as long as it's black. We like to have black because black absorbs negativity, and you're taking the negativity from the person, so black string is always good. And make sure you ground and seal yourself, and always re-smudge, re-clear. I don't want to burn anything anymore. We've had enough burning for today, so we're just going to do a little spritz. Ooh, that's the rose one. And we're going to clear it all up. Alright, guys. So again, I do apologize for the delay we have going on here. But we have had a little bit of technological issues, and I'm having speech issues. So, we do always appreciate those likes, those favorites, and subscriptions. They do help us out, and YouTube is great for that. They help us get the equipment fixed and get the software we need to get our stuff back. So we really do appreciate you guys doing that. And as always, after you're done with any kind of spell or ritual, make sure to put everything away. Little Johnny thanks you for your participation in this episode today, and we'll have many, many, many more. Again, we're expecting about 7 or 8 more of these, and I think, based on some of the comments we've been getting on some of my personal inbox on YouTube, we're going to start doing some spells, some spell work, and general casting and how to do those. So we're getting more advanced. I want to teach you guys the darker side too, so you need to understand before you do your spell work. So, after this series is over, we're going to do some spells, but stay tuned for that. Watch the rest of them. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on How to Be Pagan. Awesome.